Thanks for tuning in. We're back on the World News. On top story, the remote and inaccessible region of Turkana in northern Kenya has some of the highest and most consistent wind speeds in the world. Now it is to be turned into Africa's biggest wind farm, which will provide over 20% of Kenya's power. 365 turbines will be built, producing over 20% of Kenya's power needs. A huge project in an area where there has been little development. The Turkana people live by rearing livestock, and those living here will be able to continue to do so, as the wind farm won't be fenced off. One village is having to be moved away from the new road that will be built, but the inhabitants don't seem to mind. Kenya's other power comes largely from geothermal plants, making the country one of the greenest in Africa. The $775 million project has been 7 years in the making. Funded by private donors and the Africa Development Bank, work should finally start in the next few months, once they get the final sign-off from the investors. Meanwhile, Russian scientists say the eruption of the Plaskito-Bachik volcano in the Kamchatka Peninsula could go on for months. It suddenly became active in late November after almost 4 decades of dormancy. Researchers say it has formed a rare lava lake, which will help them understand whether it's connected to a neighboring volcano. And this natural spectacle is, of course, attracting scientists from around the world.
Teams of researchers have been making their way to the Kamchatka Peninsula in eastern Russia. They've set up their camp 10 kilometers from the Plaskito-Bachik volcano. The scientists hope to get a first-hand look at the lava flows and eruption processes. Until now, we haven't seen lava lakes on Kamchatka Peninsula volcanoes, but now we're witnessing the formation of such a lake. Temperatures are below freezing here, but the lava is boiling hot. The volcano spews clouds of ash up to 3 kilometers into the atmosphere. Besides its scientific value, the phenomenon is also a tourist attraction. But to see the breathtaking spectacle, visitors have to brave a 10-hour journey by car from the nearest town.
Turning now to a series of sports news, Alex Fiva of Switzerland won the freestyle ski cross World Cup event at Lake Contamin on Saturday to lead the overall standings. In a close final, Fiva and Philip Flisser of Slovenia battled throughout, but the Swiss held on to secure his second consecutive World Cup win and his third podium of the season. Thomas Kraus of Czech Republic finished third ahead of local favorite Jonathan Meidel. Fiva takes the overall leader's red bib from his compatriot Armin Niederer, who finished second in the small final and 6th overall. After 13 races, Fiva has 344 points, while Niederer has 313 points. Brady Lemon of Canada is third overall with 245 points.
Well, keep on going. It's still a long season. We still have world champ. I have the red bib, so I want to keep that as long as I can.
Only a strong performance by Sweden's Christine Hargin prevented the United States taking a clean sweep of the first leg of the 2013 Swatch Freeride World Tour in Canada. Ralph Backstrom and Shannon Yates topped the podium in the snowboarding at Revelstoke Resort in British Columbia on Friday, while Drew Tabke snatched first place in the skiing. A sun-soaked day with pristine powder snow began with California's Backstrom successfully defending his title. Ludovic Goulet-Diat was second place with a very fast and fluid run, while fellow Frenchman Aurélien Routens was third. Rounding out the men's podium in second place was Jeremy Heights of Les Ménécots, with Julian Lopez of France third. It was time for the women's events, with Shannon Yates taking the ladies' snowboard podium with her smooth style and confident big mountain riding. Margot Roses managed to grab the second spot, and Elodie Musson was third. Northwest China's Qinghai province began its third international extreme winter swimming race across the Yellow River on Saturday, taking its participants through a grueling high-altitude workout. The two-day contest has been rated as the world's most challenging winter swimming race, as it is comprised of the lowest temperature, highest altitude, and longest distance among similar competitions across the globe. Hosted in guide country at an altitude of 2,200 meters above sea level on the Qinghai Tibet Plateau, the extreme race has attracted swimmers from Armenia, Belarus, Kyrgyzstan, Iceland, Russia, Slovakia, South Africa, the Ukraine, the United States, and its host, China. During the first heat of the race, 9 of the total 48 participants made their way across 500-meter width of the Yellow River section, with its water registering at 4 degrees Celsius and running at 3 meters per second. And finally, in golf, Britain's Scott Jamieson capitalized on a rare bad round from Louis Oosthuizen to seize a 5-stroke lead in the Volvo Golf Champions on Saturday. Jamieson struck a 4-under par 68, but began his round in overcast conditions with a bogey at the first hole. A birdie at the second was offset by another bogey at the par 3 fourth hole, but the Scot soon clicked into gear as the rain began to pour down on the par 5 8. Second round leader Oosthuizen's poor front nine of 40 on his way to a 74 left him in a three-way share of second at 10 under 206 with Frenchman Julien Quesnay and Chongchai Jaidi. Quesnay fired a second consecutive 67, while Jaidi carded the third round 73. Triple major winner Padraig Harrington scorched back to the clubhouse in 31 over the closing 9 holes, and his 67 placed him joint fifth at 8 under with Italian Francesco Molinari. And that ends today's World News. Thanks for the company.